Hi, welcome to Energising Flow. Strap would be really good today and a couple of cushions. And if you have a block handy, then do grab a block as well. So we're going to come to start today in a cross leg position. So finding yourself into a comfy position. You can be kneeling if you prefer, if that's better for you than cross legs. And then once you get to somewhere that feels like it could be cozy for a couple of minutes, allowing your eyes to close. And then bringing the hands into your lap or onto your knees, whatever's feeling natural today, whatever feels good for your body. And taking a few minutes at the start of class today to check in with yourself about how your day's been, how your week's been. Sometimes the days and the weeks just kind of fly by, and it's good to have a moment to check in to see how you're feeling. Not just physically, but how you're feeling emotionally, how you're feeling mentally as well. Notice what comes, what feelings you're bringing to your mat today. Maybe feeling fresh, maybe feeling exhausted. Maybe there's been frustration, maybe there's been joy. Allowing yourself to notice these feelings without any judgment, but allowing them to come in. Observe that they're there. And then maybe beginning to notice how your body feels. How have those feelings, how have those experiences in your day, in your week, affected your body? Is there tightness in the hips, in the shoulders, in the jaw? Seeing if you can find a little bit of space in those areas over the next few breaths. As you inhale, maybe imagining that you're breathing space into those areas that maybe carry tension from the week, that carry tightness in the body. And exhaling to release, to let go of whatever's being held in there. Taking a couple more breaths, working with whatever's coming up for you. You can stay breathing nose and mouth. If it feels comfortable, you can take the breath to the nose. You can take Ujjayi breath. This is your practice today. It's whatever you need, whatever your body needs. Taking one more inhalation into your body, allowing it to fill with energy, those new spaces that you've created. And exhaling to release. You can either keep the eyes closed or you can open the eyes. Starting off by taking a gentle side stretch. So bringing the right arm, sliding it out across the mat. And then inhaling to lift the left arm up, and maybe it comes over. So maybe the arm comes by the ear. So just coming into a side stretch, whatever level feels good for you. It doesn't have to go super far. And keeping both hips grounded down on your mat. Inhaling, allowing the left arm to come back down and drawing back to center. onto the other side. Left hand slides out. Inhaling as the right arm reaches up to the sky. Maybe exhaling, the right arm comes over to the left. And then breathing into this space, seeing if you can keep openness through your chest. So the right palm faces downwards. Breathing into the right side of your body, finding a little bit of space in there, finding a little bit of openness. And inhaling, finding your way back to center. We're going to take fire log pose. So bending the knees, bringing the feet onto the floor. And we'll start off with the left leg. So bending the left knee. And you're going to bring the shin parallel with either the side or the front of your mat. So the foot isn't coming in towards the body. You've got a parallel line between the ankle and the knee. And then from here, option to bring the right leg, so bending the right knee, and you're going to stack on top. So foot on top of knee and knee on top of foot. Now you might find that, like me, you've got a little gap here in between the foot and the knee. You might have quite a big gap. That's completely okay. So this is a bit of a hip opener here, getting into hips, getting into the sides of the legs. So it can feel really, really intense. Feel free to come out at any time that you need to, but seeing if you can maybe use your breath to help you sit through any discomfort. You can pop a cushion to fill any spaces that you've got. So if that helps to just bring a little bit of release, feel free to do that. While the legs are in this position, we'll take a few arm circles. So inhaling, arms reach forward, palms forward. Exhaling, arms out to the side. Inhaling, arms reaching forward and up. Exhaling, releasing. One more time. Inhaling, arms reaching up. And then exhale, cactus the arms, open and broaden through the chest. Option to take a lion's breath. And then arms down. Taking a few circles with your wrists as well. A few times one way, a few times the other way. Getting everything nice and warm, ready for practice. And then bringing a hand underneath your right knee, straightening out that right leg. Straightening out the left leg, hands behind the body. Give those a little shake. We'll come on and do that on the other side. So bending the knees again when you're ready. This time the right leg bends first. Getting it set up so that you've got that parallel, knee to ankle, and then you can pop the left one on top. So this might feel completely different. You might have more of a gap, less of a gap, more open, less open. We normally have one hip that tends to like to hang on to the tension more than the other one. So getting yourself sorted here, feel free to pop a cushion in between the foot and the knee. And you can also pop one underneath your right knee as well if you want. And then we'll come through opening up arms and chest again. Inhale, arms reaching forwards, reaching up high. Exhaling down. So taking a couple of circles here, really opening up through the joints in the shoulders, getting everything nice and loose. Cactusing the arms, lion's breath if you choose. And then this time we'll take a few shakes through the wrist. So when we shake the hands like this, it gets all the synovial fluid moving. So it's a really good thing to do before yoga practice in particular, where we spend a lot of time on the wrist. All right, and then using your hand to carefully lift that left leg up and over, hands behind the body, shake out with the legs. And then we'll make our way onto hands and knees. So getting yourself into your hands and knees position and taking a few cat-cows when you're ready. So working through at whatever pace feels best for you. Inhaling, see if you can allow the tailbone to rise, finding a wave through the spine, opening up the chest. Exhaling, tucking the tailbone, rolling through the spine the other way, and rounding the chin. Inhaling, coming back through. Exhaling, tucking the chin, tucking the tailbone. And back to center. Tucking your toes under, pressing through the hands, lifting through the hips, back into your first downward facing dog. So feel free to have a little pedal with the feet here if you'd like. You can take a generous bend in the knees for this first one, whatever's feeling good in your body today. Seeing if you can really work with your breath if you're moving, so taking it nice and slowly, making it quite meditative. And then finding your way to stillness for one breath, really grounding down through the hands, through the feet, allowing the head to be heavy. Inhaling, rising up onto the toes, stepping, walking, floating, coming to meet in halfway lift at the top of your mat. Drawing your spine long, finding broadness across your chest. Exhale to forward fold. And then inhale, taking a slow roll up through the spine. You can take a bend in the knees if you want. All the way to stand. And then a little shake out when you get there. Inhaling, finding length through the body. Arms come out, up overhead. And then exhale, hinging at the hips, down into forward fold. Inhale to your halfway lift, spine comes long, gaze down. Exhale, hands by the feet, stepping, walking or floating, coming through your version of chaturanga. You can take the knees down for this first one if you'd like. Otherwise, coming through as feels good for you. And then back to downward facing dog when you're ready. As you inhale, rising up onto the tiptoes, stepping, walking or floating, coming to me in halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, you can take that bend through the knees if you want. Taking that really nice slow roll up to stand through the spine. And then opening out and having a little shake. Inhale, coming through your sun salutation. Arms rise up overhead, palms together, drawing down the body as you hinge at the hips to forward fold. Inhaling, drawing along, finding length in halfway lift. Exhale, hands by your feet, stepping, walking or floating, coming through your version of chaturanga. So you can come knees down if you like, untucking the toes, bending the elbows. Inhale into your baby cobra or a deeper cobra. And then exhale, pressing into downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. So coming through whatever version of chaturanga feels right for you. You don't have to take full chaturangas if that's not in your practice or if you're not feeling it today. On your next inhale, the right foot comes forward in between the hands, coming up into the left toes to help you lunge. And then bringing that back foot flat. Bending into the front knee, rising up, warrior two. Inhale, flipping the front palm, coming into your reverse warrior, reaching back and up. As you exhale, bringing either the elbow onto the thigh or hand to the ground, coming into extended side angle as your left arm reaches up and overhead, palm facing down. Inhaling, back up to warrior two. And exhaling, hands by the feet, spinning onto the back toes, stepping back into plank, coming through your version of chaturanga when you're ready. Inhaling, upward dog or cobra, and exhaling into downward facing dog. On your inhale, rising up onto the toes, stepping forward with the left foot this time, grounding down the back foot, rising up, warrior two. Inhale, flipping the front palm, taking reverse warrior. Keeping a bend in that front knee, opening up through the side body. Exhaling, finding your extended side angle. Seeing if you can really keep the chest broad and open here. Inhaling, back to warrior two. And exhale, hands by the feet, spinning onto the back toes, back into plank, coming through your chaturanga when you're ready. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. Really grounding down through the hands, through the feet. And letting your hips rise up towards the sky. On your next inhale, right foot comes forward in between the hands, grounding down the back foot, up into warrior two. As you inhale, front palm reverses, and lifting up, reverse warrior. Taking care not to press too hard down on that back hand, so almost kind of floating the back hand. As you exhale, back into warrior two this time, straightening the front leg, and then moving the hips slightly back, reaching forward with the front arm, and then tipping the body at the hips, bringing maybe the hand down to the shin, as the left arm comes up into your triangle. So often in triangle, it can be tempting to want to bring the hand all the way down to the ground. And if you feel very open with the hand on the ground, you're welcome to. But maybe have a go bringing the hand to the shin and see if there is a little bit more openness across the chest by having it higher. Bending into that front knee, bringing the right hand down outside of the right foot, and then taking your extended side angle here. So left arm draws up by the ear, palm down, opening through the chest. Bringing the left hand down to the ground, and you're going to spin over, lifting up the back heel of the back foot, and then rolling over so that you're on the outside edge of that back foot, and also the outside edge of the front foot. So coming into a little twist. Lifting the right arm up to the sky, so we're now facing the other way. So rolling over to the outside edge of both feet, right arm lifts up, left hand grounding down. And then lowering the hips here, and lifting. Lowering the hips, and lifting up. Getting firmly onto the outside edge of that back foot. You can use your hand here to help you if you want. You're going to step back into side plank. Once you get there and you feel firm, you can lift that right arm up. And taking any version of side plank that feels good. Seeing if you can lift up through the hips here, keeping the chest open. And then hovering the right foot from the ground, drawing it into the chest, and stepping it forward into a lunge. From here, seeing if you can rise up into your high lunge, keeping your balance, opening the arms, cactus, lion's breath. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands by the feet, stepping back to downward facing dog. So quite a lot going on there. Hopefully a little bit of fun. We'll give that a go on the other side. So on your inhale, left foot comes forward in between the hands. Grounding down the back foot, rising up, warrior two. So really noticing here, are you still getting a nice deep bend in that front knee? Reaching out with the arms, shoulders down. Flipping the front palm as you inhale, reverse warrior. As you exhale, back to warrior two, straightening the front leg, tipping the hips back, arms reach forward into your triangle pose. So noticing how that feels. If you've taken hand to shin this time, maybe there's more of a sense of opening and broadening through the chest. Bending through that front knee. When you're ready, hand comes to the outside of the foot, and then arm comes up and over, palm facing down into an extended side angle. When you're ready, right hand down to the ground, lifting the back heel, and then pressing through the right hand as you spin both feet onto the little toe edge and lift the left arm up. So almost as if we're in side plank here, you're lifting up through the hips and really pressing down through that hand. And then you can either use your hand or go without onto your side plank. So coming up, stacking the feet, lifting through the hips, and then hovering that left leg, drawing it into the chest, bringing it forward, grounding down and rising up into your high lunge. Cactus lion's breath. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands by the feet. Stepping back into plank this time, coming through chaturanga one last time. So lowering down, inhaling, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. When you're ready, rolling forwards into plank, lowering the knees down, finding an all fours position, and then walking the hands forward, we'll come into puppy dog pose. So bringing the forehead or the chin down, and deep sigh out through the mouth. Allowing the arms to rest. Taking a few restorative breaths in this pose. So really allowing your chest to sink down here. Opening up through the chest, through the heart. Taking one more breath. And then slowly walking the hands back in and coming to sit down on the heels. So this is where you want to grab your strap if you've got it. So we're going to come into cow face pose. So You're welcome to, if this foot variation doesn't feel, leg variation doesn't feel good, to take fire log like we did at the beginning instead. Otherwise, bringing both legs out in front and bending the right knee, bringing it into the chest, and bringing the right foot outside of the left. Now, it's worth saying you can always stay here and not go any further if this already feels quite intense, or like I said, you can take the fire log. Otherwise, you can lift the foot from the ground so that you can kind of stack the knees on top of each other, so the foot's facing backwards now. And again, you can stay here if that feels like enough. If you'd still like a little bit more, then you can bring this left leg underneath as well. So you're kind of stacking both legs on top of one another. The knees are stacked on top of each other. The knees don't have to be, there can be a gap. They don't have to be dead next to each other. So totally fine if you've got a gap like I have. So you're sitting down on the hips here, on the sit bones, not on the feet. The feet are totally separate and out to the side. If this feels unbearably uncomfortable, then do straighten out one of the legs and just take one leg over or come back into fire log. Once you've got into a foot position that feels good, taking hold of your strap in your right hand, lifting your right hand up as you inhale, reaching tall, bending the right elbow so the hand comes to the back of the neck, and then reaching left arm out, palm facing backwards, bending the elbow, and then taking hold of your strap. So your sort of right elbow is working up towards the ceiling. So this is where the strap is really great. Sometimes when we try and get the bind with the hands, the elbow can start coming forwards, we kind of close in and we lose the benefit of opening up the chest and shoulders. So do use the strap so that you've got that nice opening there. So I'll just show you what that looks like from behind. So you've got the right arm on the top, elbow to the sky, and then holding onto that strap with the left hand. So taking a couple more breaths here, in whatever variation you're taking today. If you comfortably have a bind and you can keep the chest open, of course, feel free to go for that. On your next inhale, releasing the left hand, opening the left arm up, right arm opens up, little shake of the shoulders, and then hands behind the body, carefully releasing the legs one at a time. So whether you've got fire log, whether you took one leg or both legs, bringing them out in front and giving them a really good shake. So that's a very intensive opener on the hips, that one, and also on the shoulders and the chest. So kind of the whole of the body gets a really good stretch. And then we'll come over to the other side. So you can take whatever leg variation you want. If you took fire log, then swap your legs over. If you're taking the cow face legs, then you're drawing in the left leg this time, bending the knee, crossing the left foot over the right thigh, and then bringing the knees so that they stack and the foot points backwards. Stay in here if that feels good. Or you can have a little lean into the right hand, tucking that right leg under and coming to sit in between the feet, stacking the knees. So it might feel a little different on this time. The knees don't have to stack perfectly, but make sure both sit bones are grounded. And then have a little shuffle into position. This time grabbing hold of your strap with your left hand. Inhaling, reaching up tall with the left arm, bending the left elbow, right hand out to the side, palm facing backwards, and then bending the right elbow to come and grab your strap. So really finding some openness through the chest here and seeing if you can get that elbow as far up to the sky as you can. So almost as if someone was taking hold of this elbow and drawing it up and back. So kind of like how you would in a tricep stretch. So getting a sense of that motion, and you can really use the strap here to help bring that arm back. And then noticing any sensations in the front of this right shoulder as you're opening that up as well. Seeing if you can sit tall and send your breath to any of the tight areas that you're experiencing. So maybe in the hips, maybe in the shoulders. Maybe you allow your eyes to close for a second, really sending your breath to all of those places. One more breath here. And then releasing the bottom arm when you're ready. Top arm releases, strap off to the side, little shake with the shoulders. And then carefully releasing the legs one at a time, arms behind the body. Really good shake out. And then keeping the feet in front. You can sit on a little cushion here if you want. So if you notice you're rounding in the spine, sit on a cushion. That will help it feel a bit easier to sit up straight. And then we'll take a little fold forward. So you can either have the feet completely together or sort of hips width apart if that's better. Inhale, reaching up. And then exhale, leading with the chest, coming forward any amount. So you can come forward just a little bit if you want. You can take a big toe bind if that feels comfortable, using that to help draw the chest forward. If you've got sort of a wrap around the feet, then you can bring hands around the feet, or if the feet are together, then you can take a full wrap. And then breathing in, seeing where feels right for your body today. So bearing in mind that might be a different place to how your body felt yesterday or last week. Using your inhale to find length through the spine, really getting a sense of being the chest that's coming forward. Try not to dip the chin and tuck using the chin or the forehead. And then exhaling, maybe you find that there's space to come a little deeper. Maybe the elbows start to bend out to the sides. And as always here, if you want to take a more restorative version, you can fill any spaces that you've got with cushions. You know, make it as cozy as you'd like. So maybe allowing your eyes to close here, to draw inwards a little bit. Really noticing the sensations in your body. So if you've got very tight hamstrings, if your hips are tight or your lower back is tight, this is a great pose to just spend a few breaths in. And not worrying if the hands don't reach the feet, they can just be down by the sides of the legs. You can stay sitting upright if you want. So many options on the table here. One more breath wherever you are. Seeing if you can find a little bit of release, if you can allow anywhere to let go a little bit. As you inhale, if you've taken a fold forward, walking the hands back up, either up the legs or up on the floor. Back up to center, hands behind the body, and one final little shake of the legs, maybe a little move from side to side. And then bending the knees, keeping the hands behind the body, allowing the knees to rock side to side. So kind of like a little windscreen wiper move, the one that we often do lying on our backs. And then finding your way to about halfway up your mat, we're going to come into Shavasana, so you can use any pillows or blocks to make yourself cozy here. So I'm going to create myself a nice little bolster bridge that feels cozy for me. So yeah, whatever feels good for you, really, whatever you like today. And then leaning back, you can get yourself super cozy. Maybe you like to keep knees bent, maybe you want to just open up fully, that's okay too. So finding a position that really suits you today, that your body can sink down, it can melt down. And this is the bit of practice where your body doesn't need to be hanging on, it doesn't need to be working hard. All of those places that have worked hard in class today, the shoulders, the wrists, the hips, the legs. Taking a little scan up your body and one by one releasing each of those areas down into the earth. Letting your body be completely supported here, let it completely open and relax. Does your body feel any different? Is there more space across the chest, the shoulders? Taking a few moments in Shavasana. Stay in here for as long as you have time to, my yoga friends. Drinking in this relaxation, nourishing your body. Thank you for joining me in this flow today. And I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.